Dear students, let's complete talking about mutations. In the previous video, we were talking about mutations in genes. So if there is change in a sequence in only one gene, this is gene mutation, and we took two types, point mutation and frame shift mutation. Now let's see mutations in chromosomes. Do you think the mutation might occur only in one gene or in many genes together or part of chromosomes? Actually, both. Also, mutations occur in chromosomes, which will cause chromosomal mutations. So chromosomal mutations affect many genes. When do those chromosomal mutations occur? Chromosomal mutations, most probably, they occur during crossing over process. During prophase 1, as you know, there is exchange of segments. But not in all times the exchange of segments will occur correct. In some cases, there is an unequal exchange of the segments during crossing over process. Can I consider this one type of mutation? Of course, yes. Of course, this is one type of mutation because change in the chromosome will occur, which might have after that serious effects. As I told you, chromosomal mutations affect many genes, and there is one type of chromosomal mutation which is gene duplication, which results from unequal crossing over. As I told you before, the exchange of segments or crossing over process occurs during what? During prophase 1, during crossing over process. And the segments that are exchanged should be equal. What does it mean? It means that if I said that those two homologous chromosomes, they will exchange segments, the green part that will transfer to this purple one should equal to the purple part that will transfer to the green one. But sometimes during mutation, there is unequal crossing over or unequal exchanging of segments. That's why you will find one of the homologous chromosomes will get smaller piece than or smaller segment than the other. This is the gene duplication. Gene duplication, which is a type of chromosomal mutation. This occurs when? During crossing over process. There is one type of chromosomal mutation that's called translocation. Translocation results from the exchange of DNA segments, but between non-homologous chromosomes. As I told you, usually the exchange of segments should occur between homologous chromosomes. Which chromosomes here are homologous? Purple and green are homologous. The blue and red are homologous. They have same size. Do you remember what the meaning of homologous chromosomes? The chromosomes that have the same size and they carry same genes, but one from mother and one from father. So can I say the red and green are homologous? No, of course not. They don't have equal genes and they don't have equal sizes. So the exchange of segments normally should occur between homologous chromosomes. Crossing over occurs during homologous chromosomes. But in some cases, due to mutation, the exchange of segments occur between non-homologous chromosomes. For example, the green and red. So, of course, they will exchange different genes. Look here, the exchange of segments. This will lead to serious also problems and change in the DNA. So translocation is one type of chromosomal mutations. As I told you before, mutations may or may not affect phenotypes. And you know, chromosomal mutations, they tend to have a big effect they tend to have a big effect on the phenotype. Some gene mutations change phenotype. For example, if a mutation occurred to make stop codon after changing of the nucleotides, or after any type of mutation, the mutation led to formation of stop codon. The new codon after changing of the nucleotides is the stop codon. What do you expect to happen? Stop codon means the codon that signals to stop translation. So of course translation will occur, translation will stop, and the protein won't be normal. This is the premature stop codon. What the meaning of premature stop codon? Stop codon before the end of the formation of stop codon due to mutation, before the end of the gene, or before the end of the formation of the protein. In some cases, the mutation might lead to formation of an enzyme that is inactive. As you know, the enzyme works by an active site to bind to the substrate. In some cases, due to change in the proteins, the size of the active site will change. So in this case, the enzyme won't be effective anymore. The enzyme's binding site will change. That's why the enzyme couldn't bind to the substrate. So in the first case, the premature stop codon, this will affect the phenotype, of course, will prevent the formation of the protein or the completion of the formation of the protein. Another type, which is the change in the active site of the enzyme, which will lead to formation of abnormal enzyme, or enzyme that cannot work properly. Another type, which is a mutation that occur in the regulatory proteins. Do you remember proteins that regulate the cell cycle, proteins that regulate the gene expression, and proteins that regulate the cell cycle? And mostly those types of mutations will cause cancer. Sometimes the mutation is silent, or in some gene mutations don't affect the phenotype. Some genes mutations don't affect the phenotype. A mutation may be silent. What's the meaning of silent mutation? The mutation might cause change in the codon. Look here, for example, in this one, normally it should be CAA. Due to mutation, it became CAT. But actually, both CAT and CAA, both of them will form a codon for the same amino acid. So will this cause change? No, this won't cause any change in the phenotype, because by chance, by changing in the nucleotide, the amino acid that will form is the same in the two cases, because as I told you, there are many amino acids that have more than one codon. So fortunately, the two amino acids or the two codons are for the same amino acids. So the codon CAA will form GUU codon, here also GUA, and both of them are codons for the same amino acids. This is silent mutation. This is silent mutation. A mutation may occur in a non-coding regions. As I told you, not all the DNA carries, not all the DNA parts carry codes. No, there are some non-coding regions. So if there is any change in the non-coding region, will this affect the phenotype? Of course not. If there is no code in this area, so this won't affect the phenotype at all. Also, a mutation may not affect the protein folding or the active site. In all these cases, the mutation won't have any effect on the phenotype. My question now, can mutation be inherited? If there is a certain mutation in any of the body cells, will this mutation be inherited? Do mutations affect offsprings? In other words, I can say, do mutations affect offsprings? Actually, it depends. If mutation occurred in body cells, of course, body cells don't pass to offsprings. So the mutation in body cells don't affect the offsprings. If mutations occurred in the sex cells, the mutations in this case will affect the offsprings and will pass to or will be inherited to the offsprings. After mutation in some plants, the mutation might lead to some traits that are undesirable, so by natural selection, those mutations will be removed. But what if the mutations led to formation of desirable traits or good traits? In this case, the natural selection will increase this mutation in the population. What are the mutating factors or mutation causing agents? Mutation causing agents are called mutagens. So mutations can be caused by several factors. Those factors are called mutagens. Mutagens, example, ultraviolet rays. We always say that the ultraviolet rays are not good for the skin because this will change the DNA of the skin, which might cause cancer. So mutations might occur by ultraviolet rays, X-rays, harmful chemicals. But if the mutation caused change in the growth factors or change in the regulatory proteins, this will lead to cancer. In some cases, we can use drugs that cause or induce mutations to oppose the action of cancer cells to kill cancer cells. This regarding to mutagens. So mutagens are mutation causing agents or factors. Thank you for your listening.